Episode 1, Serendipitous Beginnings. In the heart of the picturesque town of Willowbrook, where cobblestone streets wound through quaint shops and cozy cottages, lived Emily Summers. With her fiery red hair and a heart full of dreams, she was an artist in her own right, a writer who spun tales with words as vivid as the colors on a canvas. It was on a misty morning that fate orchestrated its first move. Emily's favorite café, Brew and Pages, bustled with customers seeking refuge from the rain. Armed with her notebook and a steaming cup of chai, Emily sat by the window, her gaze alternating between her words and the world outside. Across the room, Alex Sterling sipped his black coffee, his dark hair falling over his brow as he sketched in a leather-bound notebook. His fingers moved with a fluid grace, each stroke of the pencil capturing the essence of the café. Their eyes met, a fleeting moment, electric and yet tender. Emily's heart skipped a beat as she quickly returned to her writing, a blush creeping up her cheeks. She stole another glance, finding Alex looking her way, a faint smile tugging at his lips. As if orchestrated by destiny itself, Emily's chai took a sudden leap, spilling onto her notebook. "Oh no," she muttered, scrambling to salvage her work. At that very moment, Alex approached her table with a napkin. "Here, let me help," he offered, his voice a soothing melody. "Thank you," Emily said, their fingers brushing as she accepted the napkin. Their eyes locked once more, and in that instant, the world seemed to slow down. The rain outside intensified, creating a cocoon of intimacy within the café. Emily and Alex shared stories of their creative pursuits, dreams, and aspirations. Laughter flowed like a gentle stream as they found common ground in their love for art and literature. As the afternoon sun tried to peek through the rain clouds, Alex extended an invitation. "There's an art exhibition at the town gallery this weekend. I'm showcasing a few of my pieces. Would you like to come?" Emily's heart raced at the prospect. "I'd love to." With a smile that held the promise of 1,000 tomorrows, they parted ways, each walking into the rain with a newfound spark in their hearts. But destiny, ever the trickster, had other plans. Just as Emily reached the shelter of her home, her phone chimed with an urgent message from her editor. An unexpected deadline loomed, her novel needed revisions before it could go to print. Days turned into nights as Emily immersed herself in her work, the art exhibition slipping to the recesses of her mind. Meanwhile, Alex stood before his canvases, pouring his heart into every stroke, his thoughts occasionally drifting to the enchanting redhead he had met. The weekend of the exhibition arrived, and Emily found herself torn between her novel and the art that had ignited a spark within her. With a heavy sigh, she made the painful decision to stay home and meet her deadline. Unbeknownst to Emily, Alex's gallery showcase was a resounding success. Art enthusiasts marveled at his pieces, each canvas a window into his soul. And as the rain tapped on Emily's window that same evening, she found herself staring at a blank page, her heart heavy with regret. Little did she know that destiny, having played its first hand, was far from finished with its game. Episode 2, The Mysterious Connection. In the weeks that followed that serendipitous encounter at Brew and Pages, Emily and Alex found themselves inexplicably drawn together, as if some cosmic force was determined to weave their lives into a tapestry of intrigue. The first twist of fate occurred when Emily's best friend, Lily, surprised her with 2 tickets to a weekend art retreat in the nearby mountains. "You've been working too hard," Lily insisted. "It's time for a break." Emily's heart fluttered with excitement. She considered inviting Alex, who had mentioned his fondness for nature during their coffee shop rendezvous. Yet, as she dialed his number, the call went straight to voicemail. Disappointment gnawed at her, but she left a cheerful message about the retreat. Meanwhile, Alex stood amidst a gallery filled with admirers, basking in the success of his exhibition. His mind wandered to the enchanting redhead, whose absence he couldn't shake off. He retrieved his phone and listened to Emily's voicemail, a soft smile tugging at his lips. The retreat weekend arrived, and Emily found herself surrounded by towering trees, fresh mountain air, and a group of fellow artists. She eagerly explored the landscape, her thoughts occasionally drifting to Alex's captivating eyes and their shared laughter. As the attendees gathered for a welcome bonfire, Emily's heart raced when a familiar voice echoed through the crowd. Alex, adorned in a cozy sweater and carrying a sketchbook, stood there, a grin on his face. "Mind if I join you?" Emily's heart skipped a beat as she stammered, "I thought you didn't get my message." A mischievous glint danced in his eyes. "I decided to follow my instincts and hope for the best." As they sat around the crackling fire, stories and experiences flowed freely. Emily shared her writing journey, while Alex opened up about his inspiration and creative process. Their connection deepened, as if they had known each other for a lifetime. The next day, they joined a group hike through the woods. Every step seemed to bring them closer, and yet, a shadow cast itself over their burgeoning connection. Just as they reached a clearing with a breathtaking view, a sudden gust of wind snatched Emily's scarf, carrying it away. "Stay here," Alex called after her, determination in his voice as he sprinted after the runaway scarf. Emily watched him disappear into the trees, her heart pounding with a mixture of amusement and worry. Moments later, he returned, her scarf wrapped around his neck like a trophy. "Got it," he said, his grin infectious. The day ended with a quiet walk along a moonlit path. Emily's fingers brushed against Alex's, sending shivers down her spine. They walked in comfortable silence, the world around them bathed in the soft glow of the moon. As they reached the entrance of the retreat center, Emily's phone buzzed. A sudden work emergency demanded her attention, forcing her to bid Alex an abrupt farewell. With a promise to reconnect soon, they parted ways, a palpable yearning lingering in the air. And so, the mysterious connection between Emily and Alex deepened, as their lives continued to intersect in both magical and frustrating ways. As readers delved deeper into their story, they couldn't help but be captivated by the enigma that was unfolding, one that seemed to be driven by forces beyond their control. Episode 3, Whispers of Fate. The weeks turned into months, and the bond between Emily and Alex grew stronger with every passing day. Their connection, mysterious and undeniable, seemed to defy the barriers that life kept erect. However, fate had its own way of testing the depth of their affection. Emily's grandmother, her beacon of wisdom and warmth, suddenly fell ill. The news struck Emily like a thunderbolt, shattering the peaceful rhythm of her life. She found herself torn between the urge to be by her grandmother's side and the responsibilities of her writing career. One evening, as the sun cast a golden hue over Willowbrook, Emily sat by her grandmother's bedside. Fragile hands clasped together, their hearts engaged in a silent conversation. Emily listened to her grandmother's stories of love, loss, and the tapestry of life. "Remember, my dear," her grandmother whispered, her voice like a soft breeze, "true love endures even in the face of challenges. It's in the storms that love's strength shines brightest." Those words lingered in Emily's heart as she faced the dilemma of choosing between her work and being present for her grandmother. It was during a visit to the local park, a sanctuary of tranquility, that she encountered Alex once again. He stood beneath a canopy of blossoming cherry trees, capturing the delicate petals with his brushstrokes. Emily approached him, her heart racing with a mixture of joy and anxiety. "Alex," she greeted softly, her voice carrying the weight of her emotions. He turned, his eyes lighting up when he saw her. "Emily," he replied, his voice a melodic resonance.